Our state has some incredible problems. My name is Lynn, Hinderaker. I'm here to talk about that with you and talk about the trends that have shaped this state and dragged us in one direction or another. We're not really we're not realizing the dream we had way back in the early 2000s or even around 2008 or 9 or 10. My name is Lynn Hinderaker. Welcome to WowBiz Nebraska. We're going to get it on right now. How do you get from here to there? Do you know what your assumptions are, the bureaucracy? Just think for a moment all the stuff that's on your desk every single day, all the things you kind of have to move through and the measurements and the people you have to talk to and so on. They can really hang you up if something comes along that requires your focus and immediacy and some speed and some urgency, some things you got to get done quickly to take advantage of opportunities that just kind of, bam, present themselves. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to give you a little example. And we're going to utilize the weather here in Omaha, Nebraska. A few days ago, a good week ago, it was about 6 inches worth of snow on the ground. It was really something very pretty, but also, of course, difficult to get through. And if you put them on a hill, and by the way, I have a steep hill in front of my home, that's a lot of snow right in front of the house, and a tremendous amount of inertia. Now, let's utilize this little scooter here as an example. Now, here comes the boss, and the snow represents existing projects, bureaucracy, technology, administration, processes, how we work, how we do things, all right? But out of the blue, suddenly we find out we have the opportunity to get a new client, or maybe we have the opportunity to get a new high-powered person at the executive level. We have to move quickly. See, we have to move quickly to take advantage of that. So this represents the project, the urgency, the need to do something unique and special rapidly. And you know, if you're standing at the top of a hill where there's a lot of snow, and you take this particular scooter right here, kind of cute for a little kid, and you take it and say, okay, come on, you guys, let's get going, get on this, get the project done, go get that new client. I know they're waiting for us, they're ready to go, and get going. Start at the top of the hill, get going. So here you are, right? Here you are, and you try to move into the snow. Now, we all know that a scooter doesn't do well in the snow, right? It's very sluggish and almost impossible to move forward very quickly when you have a scooter like this in 6 inches of icy snow. But it makes a great point, and that is many times we're unable to take advantage of an opportunity, which again is this right here. And because we have all the bureaucracy, the procedures, and really even the psychological assumptions that leadership has so often about the business and the competition and how we do things. And so it's impossible to move forward very rapidly and see and take advantage of opportunities. Now that's the situation when you try to move this through 6 inches worth of snow. Now I'm going to show you something else. This is how we get to the bottom. This is how we move quickly to the opportunity. And of course, you know what this is. This is a plastic slide. Every small kid participates or utilizes these. And when they get at the top of a hill, again, that represents all the assumptions and the existing way we do things. And you glide on top of it. Now, how do you do that? What would this symbolize? I'm going to suggest to you that an outsider, bringing somebody in from outside, could be a consultant, a trainer, good idea, a consultant, a coach maybe, an advisor. They don't care about all the built up inertia and procedures and projects and things we normally do every morning, whatever it is. They're gonna move quickly. They're gonna get right to the top of the hill, and they're gonna move very rapidly down the hill, and they're going to get to the end of the project and secure the goal, the objective of the project at that particular time. So we've used these metaphors, and I think everybody's familiar with how difficult it can be to slog through a bunch of snow, and how effective something like this, and bringing in somebody from the outside is a lot like this kind of a plastic slide that stays on top. It floats on top of the snow, and on top of the projects and moves quickly to the objective. So there you go. It's something to think about. You might want to bring in an outsider and slide down that hill, get it done down at the bottom of that hill. Now, I want to share something else. We've been talking about metaphors and symbols here. Some of you may remember Muhammad Ali back in 25 years ago, probably the 70s, I think, was maybe the height of Mr. Ali's incredible professional boxing career. But I'm going to hold up these two gloves because they symbolize something that I want to share with you here again on this show. I'm moving quickly from one metaphor to the other. But this is the main concept. This is the idea right here. You know, when you're in a competitive scenario or arena, and you have competitors in the marketplace, and they want to sell their product. It's kind of similar to your product, but a little different, and they're trying to sell it to their customers, maybe get some of your customers involved in their process and so on. Maybe they like their brand and they like their sales manager, whatever it is. It's kind of a back and forth. And of course, he's lower, but he's got a greater product. And well, how do we rationalize that? But here's the thing. When you're dealing with competitors like that, they're going to reveal what their weakness is. They don't think of it as a weakness, by the way. They wouldn't call it that. But this is what Muhammad Ali did. He would guard himself, right? He'd guard a jab to his face or to his upper body, and he would be able to do this and evade the competitor's jabbing. And then when the competitor dropped his guard, just a little bit, just a little bit, he was extremely rapid. He could move very quickly, and he'd go boom, right? And the competitor didn't see it coming, as you know. So, and this is exactly what I would suggest most of Nebraska's business owners are not as aggressive as this metaphor would suggest. And I would consider maybe being a little more aggressive and having kind of a second, how do I say it? Kind of a second thing that they could pull out, a lower jab, so to speak. This is our new product. This is our value-added product. These are the people over here you never heard of that have endorsed our product. I mean, there's all kinds of interesting ways that you can have a secondary kind of a new jab and really gain market share quickly. But it takes some real thinking, and you have to move away from the established procedures that are probably part of your organization right now. So there we have it right off the bat, two groups of symbols. You know, this show is brought to you by Nebraska. Nebraska is a consulting, coaching firm here in the Omaha area and across the entire state of Nebraska, working with economic developers in some cases, certainly working with business owners, certainly mid-sized business owners in particular who are looking for a little outside help. And that's what Nebraska does in fact offer. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This is very interesting about Nebraska. Well, you're looking for people that have credibility. You're looking for people that have done certain things before. You want to look carefully at Nebraska. Now, what you're asking for right then and there is some education. You're looking for somebody who's done this before, maybe an endorsement or a testimonial letter. But what you're really looking for, and what people talk about for years afterwards, is Nebraska's ability to bring new energy to the program, new excitement, new intensity, a sense of urgency, a sense that we're doing something different here. We're innovating, we're going somewhere. We're not just doing the same old thing. Now, there are many, many examples that Nebraska can share with you as we go forward down the road here, but you might want to call on Nebraska. Check them out at NEWBRASKA.com, Nebraska.com. They are the sponsors of this particular show, and they have lots of experience and some exciting ways to add energy. This is the key factor for success as we go through this very interesting period. New energy, new confidence, new excitement about what is possible for us. That's how you energize teams and groups of people, and energy is how you attract new workers to your organization. People who are applying, they want to work with a company who's doing something interesting, maybe innovating. This is a very important attribute, and that's what Nebraska brings to the party. NEWBRASKA.com. Check out Nebraska right now. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to chat here, and thank you for staying with us here in Nebraska, WowBiz Nebraska. You know, a lot of people that I speak with, especially now, by the way, but they feel, how do I say it, overwhelmed, right? There's just so much to do. Some of it's very personal and you know, psychological. Some of it is strategic. Some of it is organizational. We have to take care of something in the company, in the facility. Some of it has to do with other people, the talent that we have, and they need help over here, or maybe I should not let this person go. And there's all this stuff that's on their to-do list, and they're just not sure about where to go and what to do first. They have a hard time making the choices that I'm alluding to right now. So I'm going to go through an exercise with you as you're watching our program here today. I'm going to give you a series of choices, things that you think, Mom, I could put that away, but I would definitely want to do that, right? And that's what you're going to encounter right now as we go through this with you. It's a very interesting exercise, and I know you'll appreciate it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to give you 7 choices. We're not going to take the whole rest of the show, but we're going to give you 7 choices, and it'll help you sensitize, kind of figure out who am I and what do I need to be doing with my life on a daily basis, okay? So I'm going to give you, we'll start here, the first set of choices. This would be choice selection number 1, all right? So A, you could work, this is a way to think about work. You could work in 20-minute uninterrupted bursts of energy. All right, there's one legitimate way to think about handling your time. Number 2, all right, here's your other choice though. Keep a list of all open projects next to your computer keyboard. Now, they're both good ideas, all right? I'm sure that's the first thing you're going to think about. It's like, well, I'd like to do both of them, you know, but you can't do everything. You have to find a way to kind of make some choices, one thing over another. So let me say them quickly and then we'll move on. Either work in 20-minute uninterrupted bursts of energy, could be your choice, or you can make a decision to keep a list of all open projects, things you're currently working on, next to your computer keyboard. And by the way, if you choose one or the other, it's okay. The idea is that it reflects who you are, see? The choice that you make throughout life, every day, and right here at this moment, should be able to tell you who you are and who you are becoming. Let's do the next one. This is number 2, and I got a great choice here. Number 1, think about what makes you feel joy during the workday. Just think about it for just a moment. What makes you feel good, feel happy, feel joy? It's a great word, joy. But number 2, here's a different choice. Here's something else you could do that may be more attractive or effective as far as you're concerned. Get up 45 minutes earlier than you typically do and exercise. And try to gain twice that back in efficiency. In other words, get up early, get your body going, and see if it doesn't make you or enable you to work more smoothly and more confidently throughout the entire day. Now, those are 2 interesting choices. Let's go on and do another one. Here's your 3rd set of choices right now. And all of these are good, remember. You don't have to reject one, but you have to choose one that would be your priority. Number 1. The first one in number 3, actually. Be present, it's an interesting word, be present in each day activity. Allow no interruptions with the same scope. In other words, we all know we're working on a level, right? Sometimes it's professional, sometimes it's really intellectual and detailed, sometimes it's not. You're just kind of hanging out a little bit, but know what level you're working at. And in this second option, it says to do not allow for people to interrupt you, especially if they're interrupting you at that level. All right, now this is interesting stuff, and I'm just hoping that you take it seriously because we all have to make choices all day long at our desk when we're talking to people. So here's another one. This is our 4th set of choices here that'll help you live your day, manage your day more effectively. The first choice you have is imagine not accomplishing each thing that you have to do. What scares you the most? What an interesting question, right? And it's very realistic, frankly, because many of us do, depending on your personality type, but just about all of us will feel a little bit of anxiety. I don't know if it's being scared or not, kind of depends, but if we haven't gotten something done, there's real anxiety there for a lot of people, depending on the personality type that you have. But which of the projects worries you, scares you, frightens you the most? Here's the second. Here's your other choice here as we go into our fourth set of choices. The second one is attempt to respond to all emails each day. All right? Try to keep the inbox clean and try to keep it a priority. So get through those emails, keep the inbox clean, and don't get hung up and worried about them and staying on top of the inbox late into the night. So those are an interesting set of choices. I'll say it one more time. Imagine not accomplishing each thing and attempt to respond to all emails each day. Which of those two things seems most important to you? All right, let's go on to our fifth set of choices. We've got 7, so we're on our 5th one right now. Here's your first option. Take and make time to share parts of your day with your family at dinner or after dinner. This is a very interesting thing. I go through this myself. Sometimes I want to talk about business or something that I thought was particularly important and so on. And sometimes my family finds it interesting, sometimes they don't. But this is a real interesting point. Now, here's the second option. Wait till you are on a roll, then do something you are putting off. Man, oh man, I think that is, for me, that is the most true thing I've read so far. Because your emotions and your confidence and so on are extremely important. And if your confidence level is high and you're not too worried about things, you're going to go right on and do something that's maybe a little bit fearful or unusual, different, or that you might struggle with rejection. So that's a tough one. Here we go on the next one. Here's your selection grouping number 6. And we'll wrap up here shortly. Number 1. Prioritize your goals, both urgent and important, and keep them visible. All right, now this times. Some people prioritize their goals, some people don't. But that's the first choice here in this number 6 choice. Here's the second option you have. You could read or write inspirational words each day. Read or write inspirational words each day. You know, that appeals to a lot of people differently. It's very interesting. Some people say, oh, I wouldn't even think about doing that. Another person says, wow, I should be writing inspirational material almost every day. I hear about it, somebody says something. I want to write that down so I never forget. It's a very interesting set of choices. All right, we're on our last set of choices right here. They'll help you deal with, you feel like there's too much work. It's just too much. I can't do it. I can't keep up with it, That's what these questions and the priorities that are built into this exercise are really all about. So here we go, the last opportunity, number 7. Here's your 2 choices on number 7, right? Number 1, limit email time, shut down email software so as to not to be tempted to read your emails. Shut it down. Don't even look at it. Boy, there's a lot of people right now that really struggle with that. Or here's your other choice. Here's your other choice. Be physically active and facilitate focus for accomplishing priorities. Now, it's interesting that they put those two together, isn't it? Be physically active and then, of course, your focus for priorities. But I know it's probably true that when you're doing things like jogging, walking outside, maybe lifting weights, doing something like that, it's very, very interesting how your mind can, in fact, refocus, and all of a sudden things seem clearer in a way, and it's just a very interesting exercise, and a lot of people struggle both with physical exercise, of course, and also with how to focus on accomplishing your priorities. All right, there we go, right here in WowBiz, Nebraska. Thank you for watching us today. I want to share one other thing with you here real quick, a couple things. We talk a lot about diversity. As we talk about the state of Nebraska, we talk about Omaha, we talk about how important it is. If you want to innovate, you've got to have some people with a different orientation at the table and different points of view. We have inclusion, we have equity and all this stuff. And I have to tell you, this is kind of silly, I suppose, but here we have the new Oreo, huh? The new Oreo. Now, you know, there's double stuff and extra Oreo, they're cream and some are chocolate. But I think that this package of black and white cookies is, I don't know, symbolic, I guess, of what is happening to our company and our country. And what we're trying to do here is pull together opposites. Now, some of you might have watched this show enough to know that we use a word called urban natural. It's a very interesting combination word. As I took a look at this imagery and I take a look at this black and white Oreo, it made me think, wow, the power of this urban natural word, pulling opposite people together, whether it's the tastes or the visuals, how they look, how they work together, what they reveal. I think that is the most important thing, is what, when you enter the world of diversity and you're around people who are very, very different from you, you know, you really do learn a lot about yourself very quickly. It's kind of an intuitive thing. Now, by the way, Omaha is, as you probably know, trying, and Nebraska too as well, but especially Omaha and Lincoln, trying to become more and more diverse. They see that diversity is really what young people want. When they come into Omaha, they're looking for signs. Is this a place where it's okay to be me, if I happen to be an African American, a Latino, whatever it is, and they want to fit in, and they want to be proud of the fact that they are opposite, quote unquote, of some of the standard folks that have been there for a long time. But you know, this is a very, very interesting symbol of that. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit further about Omaha and what we're striving to do or become, or where we're at. And I think we're making great progress. I think many people would agree with that. We've got a Sunday World Herald here. This is the paper here in the Omaha area. And this is dated late March of 2021, right? So we're going on 2-3 years here. And the headline says, I'm going to hold this up now very briefly, how will the big O grow? Right? That's the headline of this particular article. And that speaks to, believe it or not, the black and white Oreos. Isn't that crazy? That's just an incredible symbol. But then when we take a quick look beneath the article, and the beautiful image, by the way, there's two articles there. Two articles. I'm not going to hold this up very long, but they make a point in these two articles about Omaha becoming more attractive. Now remember, despite the fact that there are a lot of excitement, revitalization in downtown and the riverfront and Mutual of Omaha, and we'd have some great things happening on the north edge of downtown, all of that. But one of the articles here says the city must reverse brain drain in order to thrive. The city has to do that. Right? I think we all understand the importance of that. But here's the sad news, by the way, is that this last year, 2023, we lost more young professionals, well-educated, college graduates and so on, more than we've ever lost. Now, the population itself is actually shoring up and kind of hitting where we need to be and so on after COVID and so on. But it's so interesting that the overall population's kind of coming up. I think it's a 1.5% growth, 2%, something like that. But at the same time, we have lost 4,600 of our brightest, most ambitious people, citizens, right? And to try to get them back, Tony Goins did that, or tried to do that at the Department of Economic Development. Did not really work out so well, unfortunately. So it's a very interesting thing. We're putting a lot of energy into it. And by the way, one of the pieces to that puzzle is, of course, the streetcar project. I'm sure many of you know about that. And there's some of our city's greatest leaders, really, activists, you know, have come out. About a year ago, they came out and said, we need to revitalize the core of Omaha. We need to be more attractive to these young people so that they'll come here, maybe come back. And the streetcar is part of it. The streetcar is part of that overarching idea that we are working very, very hard on. And by the way, some of the people that are involved with this, I just have to say briefly, some of these people are great leaders. Leslie Anderson with I3 Bank up in Bennington. Mickey Anderson, who has the Baxter Auto Group, fascinating guy. Calvin Jones, and he's with Lions Gate. Carmen Tapio, everybody knows she's done a lot of stuff in North Omaha, and she's working on a big project right now in 24th and Lake. Some wonderful people here. Elizabeth Murphy from M-Space. Jay Noddle, you got to mention Jay Noddle, who's put so much energy into all the projects around town. Nate Dodge, of course, everybody knows about the role and the influence of NP Dodge here. Jason Fisher, Lance Fritz, of course, at Union Pacific. Now, Lance Fritz was deeply involved in Blueprint Nebraska. Some of you will remember that from 2018, and did a terrific job along with Senator Jim Smith. So we've got a lot of people, smart people, working very hard to make Omaha very attractive to the people that we want to be here. And I just want to say, who exactly are these people? How are they different from somebody else? This is a fascinating topic. We won't get into it now, by the way, but having an answer to that question, exactly, not just somebody casually walking through the city, but who exactly do we want to be here in this city? Thanks for watching us here on WowBiz Nebraska. I'm Lynn Hinderaker. This is a great show. Don't ignore it down the road. We got more and more important actual intelligence coming at you right now. We'll talk to you in the next time. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.